As we enter to this final session, we now shift from understanding to commitment and action. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan. Our right is in action and not merely in results. The way forward is through consistent, value-aligned actions. So to suggest this, I would like to invite Sri Rajul Asthana ji to share expectations from the nodal centers.
In this session, we'll look into the selection process for the nodal centers and potential nodal centers. And what are some of the basic expectations from the nodal centers and the potential nodal centers? These two things I will cover briefly. So there are 27 nodal centers. So let's see how many of you are here. So nice. So welcome. So congratulations to all the nodal centers and also to the, yes, you have done a lot of homework to, come to this stage. Also the potential nodal centers. So how many of the potential nodal centers are there? Wow, it's wonderful. So let me congratulate the potential nodal centers also. That's the little breakup. We had received 125 expressions of interest. That basically means that your institution is interested in taking this human values and holistic value-based education forward. So that is your commitment, and that commitment you expressed through the expression of interest. So each region of the nation, every region had a nodal center, at least one nodal center and multiple potential nodal centers. I know that some of you who are here, who are not in these two categories, must have had less time to, put in your applications, your interest applications. So the call for these applications was made in July of 25 and 125 institutions responded. On 15th October, we had a review by an AICT committee, and we had very specific criteria, which was already published for you to look into. So we had whether the UHV cell is active or not, whether the head of the institution has attended the UHV intro at least, the deans, the HODs have attended the UHV intro, how much of the target of the UHV mentors, one for every 20 newly joined students you are expected to prepare, one faculty member from every department, so that they can act as mentors. Similarly, to teach UHV 1 faculty member for every 60 students and 60 newly joined students. And the target for UHV 2 was 100 for every 120 newly joined students, you have prepared one UHV 2 faculty. So these kind of questions were there in the criteria that we used. And then we could then identify 27 nodal centers and 44 potential nodal centers. And all the others, we have put them in the third category of interested nodal centers, interested centers. And the recommendation from AICT is that the UHV team, the NCCIP and the NCUHV, interact actively, engage with you all all these institutions to further handhold you to evolve to the present, from the present state to the desired state. And the desired state, of course, is that we are a model of a humane society. So that's where we are headed. And a lot of work you have already done, and some work still remains. So the commitment for that uh, is something that we had discussed in the previous session. I know some of you could not reach the stage in time because maybe we missed your announcement in time, or maybe it was that you were outside somewhere. So Gujarat Technical University Vice Chancellor, we missed. We also missed JNTU Kakinada. So we will look forward to your uh, uh, you're taking this forward. Now, these are more details about the criteria. So we had I would say, a very sort of a definite criteria for the selection process, and it was scaled on various issues. So, for example, for the training of the UHV mentors, it was scaled in 4 steps. So 25% got, I mean, if you had 25% target achieved, then uh, so many points and things like that. Okay, so now let me come briefly to the role of the nodal centers and potential nodal centers. Your potential is to take education, introduce the value education courses in that, as we have discussed in the morning also. And then slowly, gradually shift to holistic and value-based education. That means you are making all the subjects so that they are in the interest of harmony. So, for example, when we are doing production processes, if they are nurturing for the nature, they are able to further nurture nature instead of exploiting nature. So that kind of technologies we have to do. You can see right now the state of petroleum, the state of gas, the state of coal, all these are not renewable resources. The rate at which they are renewed is a very small rate. If we are using them at a rate which is greater than that rate of production, natural production, then we are bound to get into resource depletion, isn't it? Similarly, if you are consuming some resource, the effluents of which are taking some time for absorption. So when we are burning, let's say, wood, then the CO2 from that can be absorbed by the trees. But if you are burning fossil fuels, the amount that the trees can absorb, the rate at which we are burning those is far greater than how much the trees can absorb. So we are bound to get into pollution. So when we talk about value-based education, our technologies need to understand this and then move towards sustainability, cyclicity. So all of that we need to do. So your universities, your institutions can be a role model. You can start developing those courses and implementing those courses in the classroom first, then in the field, and then in the market. So all that work needs to be done. And now we can see the situation that we are in. The time is short. Tomorrow's children might ask, what were we doing when this was happening? Why didn't we take note of it at that time? So at least now we can take a note of it and do something about it. So if we are able to do value education and then value-based education, then it will naturally lead to value-based living in harmony. So these are a lot of details, and there'll be a letter from AICTE soon in which some of these things will be detailed out, and the letter will reach the institutions in the next few weeks. So the role of the university UHV cell, at the level of the university, you are identifying or defining the policy, what to do. And then at the level of the teaching institutions, you are implementing that policy, and then you are figuring out how to do that. So I've written very few things over here because this is a celebration, but few things I will mention, at least the ones that are highlighted, that each university should have these guidelines that we have a student induction program for 3 weeks, and we at least include the UHV 1, the introduction, and the holistic health 1, which is the introduction to holistic health, in that induction program. And Sesribuddhaji very eloquently gave the details of that induction program. So that is one important policy that you can have. The policy for faculty mentoring is even more important, I would say. See, where in the classroom we can tell some things, but that has to be sustained over weeks, over months, over years, so that we are reminding the student the direction in which we have, talked about in the initial introductions. So UHV faculty mentoring means that we prepare one faculty mentor to talk to a group of at most 20 students, and they do this every week, and they discuss with them, they talk to them, they share with them, so that they are reminded of the content and they are able to see that it connects to their living, and the students are able to share what progress they have been able to make. So that faculty mentoring is very, very important, and that is the thing that needs to be implemented in all the institutions immediately after the student induction program. Similarly, a student buddy program in which we have one senior student acting as a senior sibling to the junior students, group of about 5 junior students. Again, for the duration that the student is going to be in your institution. So if somebody is there in your institution, when they come in, you assign a student buddy after the student induction program, and they take care of this student. They're able to talk to them. Those junior students can be more open with the student buddy. They can notice any changes in their behavior if they are going in a negative direction, and inform the faculty so that they can help the student to come out of that. So catch the problems early. But if we actually implement this UHV 1, holistic health 1, and SIP in the first before the session starts in the first year, and we augment it with this faculty program and the student program, the downstream problems will be minimized, if not completely eradicated. Following that, in the second or third or fourth semester, a 3-credit UHV2 course, which gives an overview of a little bit more detail than what was discussed in UHV1. So this, what I've highlighted, is the minimum that is expected from every nodal, from every institution actually, but particularly from the nodal centers. So if you are able to do this in the next 1 year, 2 years, it will make a lot of difference. Of course, following that is the minor degree. We talked about that in the morning. And the policy for faculty development, their evaluation and appraisal. This is also very important that we have faculty appraisal with number of papers that you have written. But what is your conduct? That appraisal also has to be there. What is the faculty connection with the students? Are the students comfortable with that faculty? Are they able to address students' concerns? So all those things are important to have uh, in the appraisal of the faculty and everybody else that is working in the institution. Okay. So all I have written is include human value parameters in this second point. And then on the right hand side, there are all these things that are important. If we are not able to do what is written on the left hand side, then we still need to have student counseling. So we need to have a policy for student counseling. That is the downstream problems. Problems can be stemmed upstream. But if we are not able to do enough of this, then they come downstream and then further downstream. So this war is actually a very downstream problem because we have not done this upstream thing, isn't it? So not enough of it. We have done a lot of it, but more needs to be done. Then policy guidelines for extension efforts. In Hindi, university means Vishwavidyalaya. That is the teacher of the world. So we have to connect to our community, our area, and make some effort to help them to have the right understanding, to help them to not only with physical facility. In the morning, in the second session, we talked about the 3 needs of human being, isn't it? So what is the first need or the main need of human being? Yeah, right understanding. So these efforts that we are doing outside also should have that as the primary effort that we are making in schools, in villages, in orphanages, and so on. Then to coordinate and support the efforts at the university and all its teaching institutions, we need to make some structure for that, coordination structure. A way to track and share the progress, and to take regular measures for the refinement of the efforts towards holistic and value-based education. So this is the set of policies that we need to make. And then at the institution level, to have a process to implement these policies. So I won't repeat all of that. So we need to work in the implementation of the policy. I do want to mention this 5 key success factors. Very important that we have committed and prepared head of institution. If the head of the family is able to see the need, is able to see the value, then he or she can, make a difference. And it is not only to be able to see this, but to be able to live that, isn't it? So that is very important. And I've written at the bottom that in previous efforts, initiatives succeeded and sustained in institutions where the head of the institution and the leadership team attended the program and then they worked on it. I mean, attended is only, an event, but working on it is the process, which is very, very important. So that is the first and foremost condition. And most of you are the heads of institutions. You are the custodians of education in the nation. So it is up to you to take it up and then prepare or refine the points of view that you have. So that is the first thing, key success factor. Second thing is prepared faculty. That is very important. And prepared faculty doesn't mean that somebody has attended the program. Somebody has internalized the proposals. They are able to see, they are active, they are volunteering, or they are doing something beyond just having their certificate. Third one is committed and consistent UHV coordinator. That is also very important, that somebody who is able to see and it has made a difference in their life, they can take those things forward. Fourth one is environment of relationship in the institution. This is also very important. If you have a environment where the student is free to discuss, the student is free to talk, where the faculty is free to talk to each other, they are related to each other and they're able to express that. That kind of environment is really required for education to take place. Without that, only information transfer happens. Information transfer can happen online also. Information transfer can happen in self-learning mode also. But value education cannot happen in that mode. So that environment of relationship is very important. And of course, the sincere delivery by faculty as a co-explorer. That is very important, that as faculty, we are not there yet. We are not realized individuals. We are making progress towards that. And we are trying to help the students also to make progress towards that. So we need to recognize that and have dialogue and act as co-explorers rather than as, somebody who is already there. So last two slides, I think it is. So for potential UHV nodal centers, what is written on the right-hand side in the yellow is what we are expecting. That the HOI is actively participating in promoting UHV. They have been through the workshops and they are actively promoting it. They are actively taking part in it. I remember Professor Grewal from one of the colleges, Baba Banda College in Punjab. So when he started getting involved, he would, treat the workshop like his own daughter's marriage. So he got really involved. So like that, I'm saying, actively participating in promoting UHV. The UHV cell is operational. The SIP mentor target is achieved. The UHV2 faculty target is achieved. And UHV1 is running in 15 sessions of 1.5 hours each by prepared faculty. And then UHV2 is implemented as a 3-credit course. So it is something that every potential nodal center is expected to do, and do an impact study. Impact study is also very important in the sense that we should be able to communicate, we should be able to collect the impact and share it with others so that it can inspire others also to look into it. And for the nodal centers, the plus indicates what are the additional things from the potential nodal centers. So we are also running the holistic health program, 15 sessions, again 1.5 hours each, the faculty mentorship program and the student buddy program. Then following UHV2, we are having weekly meetings of the teachers who are teaching and also other teachers who have been through UHV have a weekly meeting. And then impact study publications, conduct, and these are very specific things which we will also discuss later on. But just to mention, conduct 2 face-to-face self-funded faculty development programs for your own institution as well as assisting other institutions in your local area or your state or your region. Start implementing the UHV minor degree and augment this extension into the society to reach every household. So that's it from my side. My best wishes.
So with this, we are towards the roadmap. So I would request Rajneesh sir to please outline the roadmap ahead. UHV as a national movement through collective participation. Welcome, sir.
5 minutes. Thank you very much. I think this was a very hectic day today. I will not take much time. I'll just put 2 issues before you. As it was very much highlighted that the leadership efforts, leadership initiative is the most important part here. That is the reason that in this whole structured program, we have formulated that we had very successful experiments in different universities. That is one day leadership program, starting from morning till evening, minimum 4 sessions. For the leadership, that means the vice chancellors and in the private institutions, the owners of the universities, so that if they come to know about the content and the pedagogy, so it takes the whole effort very easily to the whole institution and the university and the region itself. The second is a 3-day program for management. Management means the middle level management, principals and directors and deans of the institution, or maybe the head of the departments, where they can discuss, they can interact for this content more in detail for 3 days, and that is the program for the management people. Then comes the 5-day program or the 8-day program for the faculty members, which almost in all the regions and in so many institutions that has already been conducted. Many people said that this thing should go to the schools. And why it is in higher education? Mainly the major bottleneck for this whole effort is the teachers, teachers for school education. It is true that it should come to the schools, but if we need teachers, we have to start with the higher education, because they are the future policy makers, they are the future parents, they are the future teachers in schools as well as colleges. So this is the direction for to take this whole UHV program at a now higher speed. Now we can have a quantum jump. This from 4,000, we have to reach 40,000. So this is the responsibility of nodal centers and potential centers. Rajul ji has already discussed about the responsibility which is there now with the nodal centers. They are about, I was being asked that how many centers have been given this responsibility. You know that 27 nodal centers and 44 potential nodal centers, total 71 are there. And with this support, I'm sure that we will move forward with a much higher speed. With this, I just close. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And now I would like to invite Dr. Neetu Bhagatji, Director UHV Cell AICT, for vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, esteemed vice chancellors, distinguished guests, faculty members, and dear participants. It's my proud privilege to propose vote of thanks on the occasion of this enlightening Vice Chancellor's Conclave on Universal Human Values organized by AICT and AIU. On the outset, I express our deepest gratitude to all the distinguished Vice Chancellors and leaders of higher education who graced this conclave with their presence and shared their valuable insight for this conclave. Your thoughts and experiences have truly enriched our understanding of universal human values into education. We are sincerely thankful to the AICT, NCCIP, and AIU authorities for conceptualizing and successfully conducting this meaningful conclave. We are sincerely we thank to all nodal centers, potential nodal centers, and interested centers. Your continued efforts in promoting value-based education are commendable and will have a lasting impact on the academic ecosystem. We extend heartfelt thanks to our eminent speakers and panelists for their inspiring deliberations. Your perspectives have provided us with clarity, direction, and motivation to foster a more humane and value-driven education system. Our appreciation also goes to all the participants for their active involvement and thoughtful engagement, which made this conclave more vibrant and interactive. We would like to acknowledge the efforts of organizing team coordinators, and support staff whose dedication and hard work ensured the smooth conduct of this event. As we conclude, let us carry forward the essence of today's discussion and strive to embed universal human values in our institutions and our lives. Once again, I thank each one of you for your presence and contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. As we conclude, let us remember education is not just about making a living, but about making a life and enabling others to do the same. May this conclave strengthen our resolve to nurture not just skilled graduates, but responsible, harmonious human beings. Loka samasta sukhino bhavanti. With this, now let's have the national anthem. We request all to please stand. So thank you everyone. Wishing all for